From Wish TV and the All Indiana Podcast Network, this is the News 8 Daily 8 Podcast, a Wish TV News 8 update.
Hi, this is Hannah Mordo, and this is your News 8 Daily for Wednesday, July 24th. It feels like another July day out there. Humid, hot. You might have the chance for scattered showers, even storms later on this afternoon. It won't be everywhere, but just be aware it could be a bigger chance than the other days this week. We're following breaking news this morning. Police have released the identity of the man arrested for a crash that injured 8 people, including 6 kids. Police say 27-year-old Tremaine Harris was driving under the influence during the crash. At last check, the fire department tells us 3 of the children are in critical condition. Police say Harris was driving a car that crashed into the SUV at the intersection of New York Street and State Avenue at around 3:30 yesterday afternoon. Surveillance video from a nearby business appears to show Harris ran a red light. A witness tells our team that he helped get the children out.
My first reaction was to think is help everybody get out the car. So the people that did go to the car with me, we grabbed the kids out of the car and made sure that they were safe.
Police say Harris faces preliminary charges of DWI, reckless driving, criminal recklessness, and aggressive driving. Final charges will be up to the Marion County Prosecutor's Office. Current Vice President and new presidential candidate Kamala Harris is set to arrive in Indianapolis in just a few hours. It's one of her first stops since President Biden stepped down from the campaign and endorsed her. News 8's Colin Bailey is at the Indiana Convention Center, where Harris was already going to be speaking today before she was even running for president.
Good morning. Yes, this was first announced by the historically black sorority Zeta Phi Beta about 2 weeks ago, but now the vice president's appearance is getting much more attention because you see she is the presumptive Democratic Party candidate. The vice president is scheduled to be part of the sorority social justice town hall and luncheon at 12:30 this afternoon here at the Indiana Convention Center. This will be only the second appearance she has made outside the White House since she became a candidate for president. Yesterday, Harris held her first official campaign rally in Milwaukee. She told the crowd she will spend the coming weeks continuing to unite the party ahead of the Democratic National Convention next month, and contrasting her record with that of former President Donald Trump.
Specialized in cases involving sexual abuse. Well, Trump was found liable for committing sexual abuse. As Attorney General of California, I took on the big Wall Street banks and held them accountable for fraud. Donald Trump was just found guilty of fraud on 34 counts.
Security will be increased here at the convention center and other areas. IMPD says if you typically drive downtown, there will be intermittent street closures between 11 this morning and 3 this afternoon. And today's event is not open to the public. Wish TV will have coverage on the vice president's visit to Indianapolis throughout the day. You'll be able to watch her speech live at wishtv.com. But for now, in downtown Indianapolis, I'm Colin Bailey for Wish TV, wishtv.com, or follow us on Facebook for updates.
Former President Donald Trump's campaign has filed a long-shot challenge to block Harris from transferring money raised for Biden to her own campaign. The complaint was filed yesterday with the Federal Election Commission. The Trump campaign argues that the $91 million Biden raised for his re-election campaign should not be transferred to Harris. The Harris campaign says the transfer is legal because the original donations were made to the Biden-Harris re-election campaign. There is no word yet on whether the FEC will hear that complaint. President Biden says he will speak to the nation tonight from the Oval Office about his decision to drop out of the presidential race. In a post on social media yesterday, Biden said he would discuss how he plans to finish his term in office. The president returned to the White House yesterday after being diagnosed with COVID last week. The White House physician says Biden has recovered and tested negative yesterday. Biden is set to speak at 8 o'clock tonight. You can watch that speech on Wish TV or on wishtv.com. President Biden says he will name a new Secret Service director soon after the resignation of Director Kimberly Cheadle. She stepped down just over a week since the attempted assassination of former President Donald Trump and one day after she was grilled on Capitol Hill. Lawmakers from both sides called for her removal at Monday's hearing. The agency's handling of security at Trump's rally in Pennsylvania is still under investigation. Deputy Secret Service Director Ronald Rowe has been named acting director. Wish TV is your education station. It's back to school time already. Students in Beech Grove are among some of the first starting school today. A new classroom at a Beech Grove middle school this year aims to give students a taste of running their own business. News 8's Hernan Gutierrez brings us the story.
Good morning. And well, the class is called We Before Me. It started as an opportunity to give the kids a chance to get some hands-on learning experience by printing some t-shirts, printing their designs on cups and plaques. The demand for this spiritware had grown so much that the school is using it as an opportunity to craft the community's next entrepreneurs.
It's absolutely amazing for them.
Crews were still putting the finishing touches on Beech Grove Middle School's newest classroom ahead of the first day of school. It includes more space and equipment to expand the We Before Me class's screen printing operation. Teacher Jeremy Pfeiffer says the next step in the program is to teach the 7th and 8th graders how to run the business.
Having the kids get out in the community and the community be able to come to us and, us all work together, it is great for Beech Grove. And I think it helps our town grow.
Students will be starting pretty much from scratch. They'll be finding leads in the community, taking orders, and making the product. Principal Ryan Morgan says the goal is to give the students as many opportunities as possible.
It kind of gives them an idea of what they can start to look forward to when they get to high school and beyond. So giving them that early exposure, I think, is really good for them.
The money earned will go right back into the program, making it cheaper for the rest of the school to order spiritware. Pfeiffer plans to use some of it to provide some incentives to the students as well. He says it'll be a slow rollout, but hopes the business can provide the kids with lessons they couldn't get in a normal classroom, both good and bad.
It's okay for them to make mistakes. When it's all said and done, if they enjoyed it, they learned something, they created some relationships out in the community, I say that's a success.
Once the students open for business, the plan is for them to take orders from all corners of Marion County and beyond. The school looks to host a grand opening celebration for the We Before Me program on August 27th. Reporting in Beech Grove, I'm Hernan Gutierrez for Wish TV, wishtv.com, or follow us on Facebook for updates.
In Colts Watch, the team reports to training camp at Grand Park in Westfield today. Practice starts tomorrow at 10 in the morning. Our Andrew Chernoff is there this morning.
Summer break is over. The real work begins. This is their back-to-school moment, and this is a big day here in Westfield because this is where the Indianapolis Colts players are reporting for training camp, which begins tomorrow. They will be here, though, today as they get ready here at Grand Park for the next few weeks ahead. I want to show you right now just a little bit of a look. You've got a lot of finishing touches going on here. The stands are ready to go. This place will be packed with fans starting tomorrow. They're doing finishing touches on the grass to make sure it's pristine for practice, whether it is tomorrow, Saturday, whatever it may be. But yeah, the finishing touches going on here at Grand Park as we get closer and closer to the start of Colts training camp, which kicks off tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. The big question with all Colts fans: how is quarterback Anthony Richardson feeling? Of course, his rookie season cut short due to a shoulder injury. Well, he said on Thursday he's back ready to go for this training camp, and he was actually asked on Thursday what his mentality is as he approaches his second NFL training camp.
Mentally, I'm a little bit more excited. Last year I wasn't nervous, but I was a little anxious. First training camp in the NFL, it was a little different, but this year, year two, not a rookie anymore, so I'm just trying to take it full steam ahead and just keep running.
How much did you miss it?
Man, I can't even put it in words, honestly. Last year was really my first year not being able to play football, so it was definitely a little different for me, but, I'm back at it, I'm back and better.
I know a lot of Colts fans are excited to have him back on the football field this year as he gets ready for his second NFL season. So here's the timeline today. Colts players will be arriving. We'll actually hear from some of the Colts players coming up in between 8:30 and 10. Chris Ballard, then the Colts GM, will talk at noon. We'll have live reports coming up throughout the morning on what's happening here at Grand Park. Of course, this all builds up for tomorrow's kickoff of training camp when fans will be here and the players will be out on these fields getting ready for the upcoming season. Practice tomorrow at 10 a.m. Man, what a fun timeline of events coming up today and tomorrow Football season is here. For now, live in Westfield, Andrew Chernoff, Wish TV, wishtv.com, or follow us on Facebook for updates.
The Big Ten football championship game is staying in Indianapolis. The commissioner of the conference announced the title game will be held at Lucas Oil Stadium through 2028. It extends the Big Ten's deal with the city that was scheduled to expire after this year's championship game on December 7th. Now, the Big Ten Media Days are happening in Indianapolis today. They started yesterday, and the Oregon Ducks, well, they're making sure that you know they're joining the Big Ten. The team made a splash on the first day of the Big Ten Media Days and put a giant inflatable duck in the White River downtown, making waves on social media too, with people flocking to post pictures and comments. One person wrote on X, "This is a foul behavior." Another says, "I was worried about Oregon in the Big Ten until I saw that inflatable duck." And the duck posted the picture and simply asked, "Dad?" Other teams new to the Big Ten include USC, UCLA, and Washington. This has been your News 8 Daily from Wish TV. I'm Hannah Mordeau. Watch us on wishtv.com and follow us on Facebook for updates.
This is the News 8 Daily 8 podcast, a Wish TV News 8 update on demand. For even more, on demand and on the go, connect with Wish TV on Facebook at wishtv.com and on the free Wish TV mobile app. Thank you for listening, and be sure to like, subscribe, and follow this podcast for updates every weekday morning on the All Indiana Podcast Network and wherever you get your podcast.